Why did Simon Harris then call the election early? What was the rationale behind that move?
He came under a lot of pressure from within his party in particular. His party have seen their support rise since he took the position in April. So that was a big part of the motivating factor for that. Also, the main opposition party Sinn Féin, have seen their support decrease over the last year. So those are believed to be two of the main factors. Also, the government is in a very lucky position to have a budget surplus. So in October, they were able to offer what has been described as a giveaway budget with a lot of tax cuts and one-off measures. So, I think there was a feeling that they wanted to capitalise on that budget.
Yeah, I mean, I still love the contrast that you have there in Ireland with the giveaway budget as we look to what's happening in France right now, in Germany, in the UK as well, indeed. What have been some of the biggest issues then when it comes to this election in Ireland?
Well, you mentioned housing already. So housing, Ireland has not unusual, but in the fact that it has a housing crisis. But it's the housing crisis here is particularly chronic, and so that's definitely one of the big issues, with a lot of debate about how many houses need to be built and suggestions on how to fix that, including even a suggestion to have a new government department, a Department of Infrastructure. Cost of living is also a big issue, and also particularly waiting lists around healthcare. And we've seen politicians, and in particular the Taoiseach Simon Harris, be doorstepped by a lot of voters on the issue of healthcare waiting times and health services. So those, I would say, are probably the three biggest issues.
How has that budget surplus then played into this election? How are the parties toying with the idea of potentially spending more?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been a big factor. Politicians in this election in Ireland are definitely in an enviable position in that they have money to back up the promises that they are making. So there's, the budget surplus this year is approximately 25 billion. That's boosted by the 14 billion Apple tax ruling as well. So that's a lot of money to play with. So we've seen a lot of, different solutions to try to fix some of the infrastructure issues that Ireland faces, such as housing, as I mentioned, energy, water, but then also some kind of one-off measures as well. The Taoiseach Simon Harris's party, Fine Gael, have said that they will give €1,000 to every newborn baby. So there's been lots of, sort of innovative and, interesting ways that they have, that politicians have said they're going to, one, fix the problems, and B, sort of some nice, put cash in people's pockets.
Okay. So maybe some more incentives for voters out there in the days and weeks ahead, depending, of course, on who wins. Trump obviously looming large generally over kind of global politics. Has Trump come up at all in terms of the potential impact of his administration on the economy of Ireland?
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of concerns here. Ireland's economy is a very open, globalised economy, but a lot of the budget surplus comes from corporation tax receipts. Those mostly come from US multinational companies in tech and pharma. So with, Trump during his campaign mentioned lowering corporation tax and tariffs, and those are both things that would particularly impact Ireland's economy. Economists and politicians here certainly have raised a lot of concerns. The government parties mentioned this quite a bit during the campaign, and they have talked about ways to try to maybe protect the economy. The government a few months ago started a sovereign wealth fund with some of the corporation tax receipts. So that certainly is one effort that they are taking to try to protect. But yes, it's certainly a big concern here.